plan for retirement will result in one major mistake that immigrants make after moving to a Western country is not planning for retirement or failing to plan for retirement. It's very important to plan for your retirement. Whether you want to retire in the Western country or your host country, or whether you want to go back to your home country and retire over there, you need to plan for retirement. Failing to plan for retirement will result in suffering and anguish after you labor so hard during your strong and your youth age. Most of us, we moved here, above the age of 40 or 30 or 50. In some cases, I've seen, family that moved here when the parents were about 60 years of age. Some move at a very younger age, like between 25 to 30, or some even less than 20, especially those that move through school. But some of us that move through permanent residencies, we're already way above our 40s at the time we made that move. So we're already behind in planning for our retirement. Now, I say this because we've seen situations where immigrants, especially immigrants from Africa, from India, immigrants from developing countries, including Philippines, they fail to make that plan, to work towards their retirement, to save towards their retirement, to channel resources that will provide their need or take care of their need in their retirement. People come here, they live like there's no tomorrow. They forget that time runs fast. And if you are here above the age of 40, or you move above the age of 40, or by the time you move here, you're already 50 something, like time is not waiting for you. Retirement will catch up with you faster than you think. So people fail to do what is needful, and by the time the retirement age is here, they are full of regrets. So this is something people need to realize and wake up to and start immediately. I find it amazing, or somewhat amusing actually, that someone would say he's not bothered about tomorrow, that he just want to, see how today goes. What kind of thought process is that? You need to plan for your tomorrow. You have to plan for your tomorrow. So in the developing countries, some parents depend on their children to provide for them at old age, at retirement. That is not obtainable here. Here, by the time your children are at the age of 18, they want to move out. And so the culture in the Western world has trained them to understand that the parents wouldn't or shouldn't be a burden to them. It's not their responsibility to take care of you in your retirement. You are supposed to plan for your retirement while you are working, so that by the time you retire, the investment you have, the savings you have, and all the other insurance programs that you already set up while you're working can then take care of you. And you wouldn't be a burden, a financial burden to your children. You get to age where you can't do certain things yourself, right? And then so you need some sort of services to be provided to you, like cleaning, like sometimes helping you with the groceries or moving around. And so you might find yourself in a care home, for instance. Care home is not free. It has to be paid for. Government is not paying that for you, right? So the most government can do is maybe to subsidize it. So planning for retirement is a thing that must be done. If you're planning to retire back home, your country, the plan has to be something you start now. If you need to make some investment over there, if you need to maybe acquire a property where you'll be retiring, you have to start now, okay? So you have to start building funds. You have to set up programs or investment or machines that will build or generate you income at your retirement. Now, waiting for the retirement time to be here before you start thinking on what to do is a very, very wrong step. And it's something I see a lot of people right now are regretting. The earlier you plan your retirement, the better. How do you plan your retirement? Now, there are steps you can take in planning retirement, which is also something that I am doing. Here in Canada, we have different vehicles you can use for that. Registered retirement savings plan. You can put money aside with tax-free savings account. This is an account where it is totally tax-free. The money you put in there, and also the interest that is yield, you don't get taxed until when you withdraw the money. Okay, so the government gives a certain amount of allocations or what you can put in there per year, so you can also use that, work towards that. There's a contributory pension with your employer, so where your employer also contributes. It's surprising how some immigrants would reject that in their workplace. So I've seen places where people actually reject that, they don't want the contributory pension scheme. Why would anyone do that? This is an opportunity where you contribute a certain percentage, your employer also contribute, and this is for your own benefit. And you said you want your whole money for your paycheck and you don't want to contribute anything. You get the whole money, you don't save anything, you spend the whole money and you live paycheck to paycheck with no future plan for your retirement, no savings, no pension. How do you want to live? So immigrants need to really start to rethink things through. Planning for your retirement is very important. Very, very important. I am making plans for it. I am putting aside funds. I am putting aside investments so that when the time comes, I will relax and enjoy my retirement. It wouldn't depend on my children. They have their own lives to live. They have their own families to raise. Retirement is supposed to be the time where you enjoy whatever you want. You travel to wherever you want to travel to, places you've dreamt to be with your wife or your husband. You travel there. You enjoy your life. But with no planning, that can never be a reality. I am urging immigrants, because I've seen this a lot. Plan for your retirement. Set aside fund for your retirement. If you are not being part of the contributory pension with your employer, well, you may want to have everything. So the money that is taken from your paycheck towards the contributory pension plan wouldn't solve any problem for you if you're giving that money on a bi-weekly basis. Let the money go to pension. It's just a small fraction of your paycheck. It's building a future for you. Talk to your insurance advisors or your financial advisors. Get something started. It is never too late, but it'll be too late if you wait until when you retire. It is best to start building fund for retirement when you are actively working. If you started early, if you're in your 20s, start investing early. There's a chance you could retire at the age of 40 or 45. But if you're, over 30, over 40, you can still plan. And so that when the retirement comes, you go for your retirement. You don't retire and then you go back to work just because you need money to make ends meet. If you plan for your retirement, you set things in motion, the funds you put aside and you invest them into something or the stock market or anything like that. Talk to your financial advisors. They will advise you. Those funds are not just sitting idle. They are multiplying. The principle of time compounding will build those funds for you. So when it's time for retirement, you have something significant. Retirement planning is something that cannot be overemphasized. Thank you for watching today's video. I'll see you in my next video.